Welcome back. In South Africa, the private sector activity expanded modestly in June after 2 months of stagnation, signaling a return of momentum to the economy. The Standard Bank Purchasing Managers Index compiled by market inched up to 50.9 in June from 50.0 in May, with the sub-indices for output, new orders and employment all above the 50 mark that separates expansion from contraction. The overall reading was the highest since March. Economic activity has stalled in recent months, with disappointing data stifling some of the optimism generated by Cyril Ramaphosa's rise to the presidency late last year. First quarter gross domestic product figures last month showed the worst quarterly contraction in 9 years, while reading of business confidence also sank. Economists believe the slump is temporary, however, and predict growth will rebound during the rest of 2018. And a London judge has ordered Tullow Oil to pay rig owner Seadrill around $254 million, saying Tullow was wrong to end a rig contract in Ghana on grounds of force majeure over a maritime dispute. Tullow cancelled the contract for Seadrill's West Leo rig in December 2016 after Ghana set a drilling moratorium on its 10 offshore oil and gas field, which is located in waters then claimed by both Ghana and Ivory Coast. An international tribunal last year ruled in favor of Ghana, allowing Tullow, the lead operator of the project, to resume drilling. Cosmos Energy, Anadarko Petroleum Corporation, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, and Petrosa also hold stakes. With Tullow's 47% stake in TN and its duty to pay costs for Ghana National Petroleum Corporation's stake, the British company expects to pay around $140 million net. It expects to get the rest of the money back from its TN partners. And back here, the United Kingdom is committed to the battle against corruption in Nigeria through its Department for International Development in order to trim the impact on the cost of doing business. The High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Paul Arkwright, at the 6th Christopher Colade Lecture on Business Integrity, explains the cost of bribery on business and made some recommendations.
It's a very important subject that we're discussing here today. Business integrity is extremely important to the British government. So I'm delighted to be here this evening to hear your views about the role that business can play in tackling corruption and addressing human rights challenges that undermine equitable, sustainable economic development. In delivering this goodwill message, I want to focus briefly on the importance of global partnerships in promoting business integrity and on the actions of my own government which they have taken to support British businesses to act with integrity internationally, building on commitments we made in our UK anti-corruption strategy, which was published in December 2017. Corruption is a major barrier faced by companies around the world seeking new markets. It adds an extra tax on businesses, and it drives incentives for governments to create more, not fewer, regulations. It's also an important determinant of the origin and destination of investment. 43% of compliance officers of UK firms indicated that their companies had decided not to do business due to the perceived risk of corruption. 43%. At the business level, the costs of bribery outweigh the benefits in the long run, because corruption is a relationship rather than a static one-off exchange. Firms with a propensity to pay bribes not only find themselves spending more time and money dealing with the bureaucracy, but also suffering from the indirect costs, such as lower productivity, slower growth, employee theft, and more expensive access to capital. Where incidences of corruption are detected, the financial penalties and the loss of investor confidence can cripple a firm. Promoting the UK as a clean partner to do business with is an essential part of our global Britain strategy as we move towards leaving the European Union. And the integrity of companies plays into this. We want to see UK exports and investments abroad increase, including here in Nigeria, and the development of open markets in which all companies can compete freely and fairly is essential to this ambition. In terms of action, the British government launched a business integrity initiative in April this year to help UK businesses integrate analysis and management of integrity issues into their strategies for doing business successfully in developing countries. Here in Nigeria, that means applying ethical principles to business practices with a particular focus on eradicating bribery and corruption. As part of this, we want to contribute towards galvanizing the voices of business to influence long-term institutional reform. We also want to support companies to navigate the integrity challenges that significantly increase transaction costs, especially for MSMEs, and to help them keep to high standards of integrity. Not only will this work help tackle one of the main international drivers of corruption, but it will be good for business and the mutual prosperity of the UK and Nigeria. In exploring and piloting solutions, you will have your own experiences and ideas on what we can do better to help companies deal with these real-life challenges. We're very keen to hear your views on such matters, and I'm particularly interested to hear your thoughts on the potential role that investment promotion agencies, such as the NIPC here in Nigeria, could play in the delivery of business integrity support. Finally, well done to the Convention on Business Integrity for organising this event. I'm pleased that the UK's Anti-Corruption in Nigeria programme, funded by DFID, through its Strengthening Citizens' Resistance Against Prevalence of Corruption, that project, which has been implemented by Action Aid Nigeria, was able to make a financial contribution towards these arrangements. And finally, perhaps it's worth recalling the words of not just a former president, but the current president, who said so memorably, "Unless we kill corruption in Nigeria, corruption will kill Nigeria," indeed.
Paul Arkwright, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, speaking on business integrity. And with that, we draw the curtain on today's edition of the program. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimezie Obi. You're welcome.